I'm ready when you are.
My name's Bobby V, and I started in 1972 at Ryan Field. I went out to learn how to fly, but people never came by, and this guy comes walking by with two B4 harnesses and 35 bucks, an hour and a half later, I was on the ground with my first jump. So yeah, that's how it started, stuff like that. So it was pretty neat. It was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Uh, a 28-foot double L. That's what I was jumping. That's what I was jumping, stuff like that. And so I got the picture when I went out, before I jumped, and when I was going out static line, they took a picture of me, so I still got that stuff. But now they didn't tell me to bring anything, stuff like that, so I didn't bring anything. So, and I got screws, a plate on my right with 4 screws, because after jumping night jump in Elsinore, I walked 10 feet and landed in a gopher hole. And when I was hiking, this other one, the rock fell, broke, and I got screws on this, so that till 2006, I decided, what if I have to chop my foot off? And so that's how come I quit. Ended up with 5,348 jumps. So my last jump was out of the Berlin, the Connie, the Constellation, the one that flew the Berlin airlift.
Mm-hmm.
That was my last jump. I got 4 jumps out of those. I used to work for the company right next to the skydiving center. When you hang around an airport or be an airport bum, you can get these all kinds of jumps, stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
And with the Rebels?
I met them in California before, but I really didn't really know them not until 1976, something like that, and everything else. So that's when I came in with the Rebels. And they said, "Well, what can you do for our club?" I said, "Well, I'll show you guys how to fly, because I seen the way you fly. The only way you train is on the day of the competition." I tell them. So, but yeah, so I've been with them ever since, and everything else. It's pretty neat, yeah. So. And 1992, I did 50 jumps for my birthday, and I took my motorcycle and I made a jump in every state. And there's only 4 states that I didn't know anybody. There's only 4 states that I didn't know anybody. And 8% of my jumps, they gave me the free jump. Then I shipped my bike to Hawaii, and that's when I made my 50th jump, stuff like that. So
And how long was it from the first state to the 50th to complete that project?
a week after, I took off on April 1st, 1992, and I ended up in in November 1992. I just one jump though.
Nice.
It was pretty neat.
Yeah, what
You
an
meet a lot of
experience.
people. It's neat, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And from a lot of those jumps, I went to Kodiak because in 68, I went to Alaska, and I was jumping Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, in 24 hours daylight, but at the time I wanted to do the south. So I took what do you call them, I took a ferry to Kodiak, and I started talking. I met a guy over there, Friday morning. I showed him my pictures, my logbook, so he let me jump out of a Piper Cub with floats on them. And from there, he said, "Where are you going?" "Well, I need 8 more states to do before I finish." He said, "Well, here, when you get to Hawaii, talk to him McKay and tell him Friday morning, give you a glider jump." I said, "Well, how do you know him?" "Well, we were in Vietnam. Nobody else wanted to come and get us, so McKay stole a helicopter and went and picked us up and brought us back."
Wow.
And so when I got over there to McKay, I told him about that, and I sent him both pictures when I got done, and it was pretty neat. It was really neat, yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's really neat. And then 1989, I made a jump in Ultra Positive 10 towards Canada, all 50 states, and so and when I came back 13,000 miles, nothing happened. So right in front of Veterans Boulevard, there you made a left turn, and I went over the hood, broke both arms and 10 fingers. So 2 weeks later, they had to break the left one. So I hitchhiked to Nogales, right there where the border of Mexico is, and I got bored, and I started walking across Arizona, 420 miles, and I won't stop at the Moran Skydiving Center. He said, "If I can jump," they said no, "but when we get over there, I'll send my partner to go and get you." I'm going, "Yeah, right." And so when I got over there, next day there was Greg. It took him 2 hours to fly back. Took me 4, and it's neat. I just had a little knife, and a little backpacking shorts, and a pair of pants, and it was neat. It's really neat stuff. You're not walking on the highways, walking way in the back. There's no wild animals really out there that's going to hurt you. I just jumped out of the way a couple of snakes, but that was it. So, and a lot of, you could say a lot of jumps. But from Coolidge, we're supposed to do I don't know if you know Florence, the town of Florence.
No.
It's a little, what's that? It's a little park there. We're going to jump there, and then the winds came up, And back then, none of us had squares. And the wind came up, and 7 out of 10 of us landed in Florence prison. So they took it to Warden Cardwell, because none of us had ID, because you always leave it at the. And until 10 minutes later, they knew who everyone was. Whatever you do when you're 12 years old, 13, the not going to be on. They know who you are. They put it through Interpol. So they took it to the city. And next morning we went up before the judge, and the judge says, "Who's the oldest one here?" I said, "I'm 30 years old." They said, "Well, we can do this. You do it two ways. You can plead guilty and come back later with lawyers, or just say you won't do it again because you're trespassing government property and get out of here." "Yeah, we'll do it that way." "All right." He said, "Get out of here."
Oh, wow.
And so I got pictures, pieces of paper. People sent me from Stars and Stripes from Japan and things like that. And then my wife said, "Hey, how come you didn't come home?" This was Monday. So it was so. You laugh about it now, but you know back
Not then.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Wow, what adventures.
It's and I miss it. 2 weeks ago, I went to Cooley's. They were doing the Pops SOS.
Mm-hmm.
We're working for Arizona, which is an 18-way. And I seen all them guys there. I'm going, God. I said, if they can take these screws off my ankles, I'll give them my bike, that brand new bike. I'll give them my red bike, and I'll start skydiving again. I will. I mean, it's just
Life.
Yeah, it's neat. I mean, you know, yeah.
What do you think about how did you feel during the transition from rounds to squares?
You don't see many reserve rides anymore. You don't. Because right now, the Air Force, the cadets are jumping Marana. And they've been out there 2 weeks, and you don't see a reserve at all. I mean, everything's just so that's what it was. And
Easy
I
transition?
ended up with 680 round jumps, 2,000 pterodactyl jumps, and then the rest square. So I would get bored, I would take my risers, switch them, and I'd jump up, and I'd be landing them backwards. Some guy said, "God, that's dangerous, Bobby." Yeah, would you jump out of airplanes? And so, but after a while, you get to know how to do it.
Sure.
So it's just but it's a lot more expensive right now compared to what it was before. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how about you?
This is about you, Bobby.
No, but
I'll
that's
tell
what I
you when
mean.
I turn this off. This is for you. This is. What about your how do you see the rebels now? The younger crowd coming through and reviving the club?